Welcome back to the channel. This is Wasabi. This is a battle on the Prokhorovka match, and we're following Buddypal from VD in his T-100 LT, the Tier 10 Russian light tank. It's got one of the best vision ranges in the game. This is a perfect map for light tanks, and we'll just see how Buddypal exercises the power of this tank. So this is just the size of the mini-map. So he's heading up to the favourite spotting bush. If you're in a fast light tank, you can get to this spot here and spot quite far down. The issue is which bush do you pick, because often these bushes get blind fired. So Buddypal's just turning around here. This is the quick escape method. Now this is the Sheridan spotted there. Now the Sheridan won't shoot him, but he's picked up a share of the spotting damage there. BADATTANKING 25T. Has taken up a slightly forward position, so he will be taking some of the heat there, but he gets taken out by the big shit barn on the other side. But Buddypal's up to 1,099 damage now from there. It's taken a bit of a heat. Now the first part of this game is going to be pretty static, so we'll just show how the game pans out in terms of activity pertaining to this spot. But let's just speed it up. Now we're up to 4 times speed, just whizzing around. That Sheridan will be a bit of a pain. And yeah, you can see some blind fires coming in, so just back to normal speed. So it's just relocating occasionally just to minimise the chances of being shot at, because any tanks down there will know. But it's got some high vision tanks out there, the Sheridan and the Leopard ones, and the Patton as well that's been spotted down the back. So again, we'll just speed it up. It's going to be pretty static for a little while. There's one of the issues with this map, particularly on the 1-2 line, is that tanks don't really want to push up without the vision, because they know that they'll get outspotted and taken out by the massive guns lining up on each side. So basically the team that pushes first tends to lose. So there's still some blind shots coming in. There's 2 arty, well there were 3 arty on each side, but the enemy's lost one of their arty. And just chilling out here, basically waiting for action. And arty on his side has just basically made a bit of fun there. Some blind shots coming in again. Don't know why the arty was aiming at him, unless he's basically trying to get him to basically move forward. Yeah, so basically at this stage of the game, where it's almost 7 minutes in, now this is Buddypal has decided to move. Let's see whether he can make a push on the Sheridan. So if he wants to move from that spot, this is the right way to do it. Coming up through the line of bushes here, you're pretty much protected by the way that the road curves around. There's one risk that you take right there, is you've just gone past a crossroad, so any tanks that are basically in line with that crossroad on the other side of the map have got potential for spotting you. But at this point now he's fairly de-risked. He's got the Batchat that got smashed early. Is just there, so he's just got a little bit of protection there, but just inching his way up. Just using the bushes for cover, but also potentially outspotting. And he's knocking trees over, a little bit dangerous there. So he moves up back straight away, but he hasn't been spotted yet, and no arty has come in towards him. So he does have some missions on, but looks like the light tank mission he's got is to destroy tracks and to get hit points from immobilising vehicles, so I don't think that's really going to be the outcome of this game. Anyway, he's come up to the next dangerous spot here, again another crossing. He's just spotted the Grilla 15. There's the Grilla. Notice that he's been spotted, he should have. He's targeting, well, the arty's indicating they're targeting, and already got some damage out of that. So he's just starting to tick up the damage as he's pushing forward. So the guerrilla must have fired there and become unspotted again. And he's taken some big hits in, so he's already picked up 1,000 damage there. He's up to just under 2,500 spotting damage. And most likely the guerrilla will go down as soon as the arty reload. Although he is moving back. No, yep, he's gone from the arty. It's hit. So 2.6k damage now, but we're halfway through the game. So that's what I mean. The first part was all about patience and holding your ground. And now he's basically moving up. And there's not a lot of tanks in the field. So this is an interesting thing. There's only 2 tanks killed on the enemy side. And he can only see 1 heavy tank in the field. He's getting some spotting damage from artillery hits on there. So where are the rest of the tanks? Potentially some are on the hill. His team's only got 1 tank on the hill, and they've only spotted one of the 2 leopards there. But looks like there's a few tank destroyers. There's the FOC 155 and 2 FV 4005, so they're probably all in the area that Buddypal is in, or heading towards. And that 277 knows he's getting spotted, but he can't tell from where, so basically, and now that AMX 50B is basically taken a run and is suffering for the choice that he just made. So starting to basically lose hit points at a great rate. Now he's clearly thinking, okay, it's not a good spot to be. Well, why would a heavy tank be right in the corner anyway? But now the FOC 15 has been spotted and Leopard 1. So probably just firing again at targets have lit them up. And Buddypal's been able to spot them. So now he's up to 5.6k. He hasn't fired his gun yet. So basically everything's melting in front of him. There's artillery. Yep, all gone. He's up to 7.2k. So really raking up the spotting damage right now, and he hasn't really moved. This has all been about being in the right position and having the enemy tanks fire and be spotted as their camo drops to very low values. So he's got that 277 is nearly complete. The Sheridan basically is being holding in the middle, and there's that 50B. But now that 50B is, as he's cresting over the hill and that 277 goes down, the tanks just behind Buddypal basically can reach across there, and they've taken out the 50B. So still the Sheridan there, and Buddypal's just being cognizant of the Sheridan and its view range, so he doesn't really want to move too rapidly and get out of the bushes accidentally. And he'd like to see that Sheridan go, so he's just, I think he's waiting for the Sheridan basically to, as he continues to be exposed, whether the artillery will take him down. Oh look, there's another heavy tank sitting in the corner. Really, the choices that the enemy team have made here are really not panning out for them. So starting to take some damage in, and a 705A. So again, like the enemy's just collected here in the corner. So this is really convenient for Buddypal. This is going to, there are only really 2 tanks in front, so it's coming down, but this is really not going to go well. He's up to 11.7k now of spotting damage, and just moving up, following the line of bushes, trying not to expose his tank as he needs to. It's getting some thanks from the artillery, and Buddy's taken now a big step here. Now jumping down here to the low part, this is actually a less risky move because it basically lets you get under the guns and spot without really being in too much danger. The tanks in that area, unless they push down towards you, can't really get their guns on you. You're really just a bit too low, particularly the closer you are. So there goes the 705A. Leopard 1 on the hill is gone. Looks like one of the FV 4005 is actually on the other side of the map. There's the one on his side. He's lit and already taken some big hits. And there goes the FV. Is that all the tanks in that corner? It looks like he's up to 16k of spotting damage. Oh no, there's the M48 pattern just become visible. He's really right in the corner in that pocket. But he's going to try and get his gun working. Oh no, he's just continuing to spot. No, yes, he's taken taken a shot, so he's actually done damage of his own. There's been spotted now. The pattern bounced off his tracks, which is really pretty fortunate. Bounced there off the pattern and got the rest of the spotting damage, so that's 16.4k. There's not a lot of hit points left. There's still an arty there. He hasn't found a T-92, potentially over there in the other corner. So he's rushing over there, trying to get there before any other tanks spot him. So you can pick up the damage. And that's the last tank in the game. Yep, there he is. So 225 hit points. Gets slammed by the T-92, but picks up the spotting damage, 16.6k of spotting damage. So awesome result there, Buddypal. Well done. Let's have a look at the results. So here are the results. An Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, which we'll see how he achieved that. In the end, he got 17,254 spotted damage, a bit more than was reported in game, so over 17k. That was the fourth top highest spotting damage in this type of tank on what replays at the time of the battle. Of course, he got some spotting medals, the patrol duty and the scout medals there, but they're incidental to, just the total performance. 1,249 base experience earned, which puts him well on top of the rest of the tanks because basically, he took half of their experience from the spotting damage. So basically, 6,000 damage to the Striv was actually a good result as well, obviously backing him up pretty well, and a few others in the 3,000s, in fact quite a few compared to the enemy team that batch out at the start, obviously a bit short change there. So he only fired 3 shots, 2 of those hit and 1 connected. That was the arty and the pattern that he fired at, so very small amount of damage, but that's really not the point. 71,000 credits, and that's it. So any comments below? Thanks very much for watching.